Okay, but let's move on. I wanted to check out this analog horror. It's a bit of a long one, but I've been seeing it going around the internet for a while, so we'll see how it is, my dude. This one's called Vita Carnes. I'll move my a monkey. Oop. Now this is a newer one, so I wanted to check it out first, but we're gonna go back and watch some of the other analog horror.
Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself. Only until very recently, things have changed. New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself. That is why
gore, violence, and death doesn't affect me for the amount of games I've played that are related to Sally Face. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life.
I can agree on that.
First, what are these new life
jump scares
forms?
tend to scare me a lot less now after playing so much freaking Five Nights at Freddy's.
Since their arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? From what our scientists have discovered, no. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain.
What do you mean you don't know why or how? This happens all the time, but like, genuinely. Holy smokes, there's a Banshee animatronic. Is there? Did I miss it on the other one? Freaking... What's it saying? We constantly are finding new species that might not even necessarily be like species that were already there. They might be like new age species. In fact, the pygmy monkey I'm based off is a new age, is a new world monkey.
Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But here's what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones. They greatly resemble animals with no skin or store-bought meat. Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita Carnes. The Carne species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their Carnes relatives. The Carnes only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature of the Carne species, the crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow...
It's like a meat root. It's like a root made out of meat. Ugh.
...in a similar pattern as vines, mold,
I like the hand-drawn picture.
A primary stem structure is the host of divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth. The source of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces.
So it's like a plant. It's like a living plant, but made out of like flesh or meat.
Its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis. The dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals.
Well, so far so good. I like this. Yeah, I'm gonna plant some in my garden. What? What?
From plants
I see no problems with this so far.
feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores.
The background old music, though. Yeah, it gives it, like, even though nothing scary is happening, it does give it a bit of an eerie feeling, right?
The crawl as well. The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again.
So this freaking plant is awesome. So you can, like animals can eat it, herbivores and carnivores, and it freaking gives life to the plants?
This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive. Humanity
awesome.
also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainable.
Hold on. Was that like a frame-by-frame? Whoa, look, that's a bit creepy, actually. But I mean, that's what saffron looks like. If anybody knows what saffron is, like it has that same pigmentation. Hold on, I'm gonna frame-by-frame it. Was there something spooky, scary happening there?
Nutrients. It has been sustainable because of the supernatural rate of growth.
There we go, frame-by-frame. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we got a frame! Radio tower overgrown with craw. Okay, and the rest is just scribbles. So it can climb up an entire radio tower. That's a lot of height.
And its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality.
That's awesome.
The crawl may
I
also
want some
be
crawl
used
in
as
my
a
house
food
now.
source for humans, and reliably so.
Oh, you can eat it too? I'm in. It's like freaking beef jerky you can grow.
But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards.
Oh, did it taste really bad? It's like a superfood then. You got to blend it into your freaking green smoothies.
The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism, and go to live on as an independent animal.
Oh! Wait, so a plant gives birth to an animal? Okay.
This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings. The trimmings.
Okay, go back. The trimmings. Why does it look like a little bug? Like a little flea, a little tick? What happened there? Okay, I saw the first... Okay, no, so... That looks like the same image. Okay. Once upon a time, and then I can't read the rest of it. Whoops, wrong button. Okay, I can't read that. Alright, well, it says once upon a time, some kind of fairy tale situation.
The trimmings. Trimmings are small animals that resemble skin.
Oh, that looks way
They
creepier.
are commonly known to have a plump body, round head.
They resemble skinned raccoons? Are they as big as raccoons?
Small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics. One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball.
Oh, that's still a bit creepy. A basketball-sized little meat thing?
Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find any
Can you eat it? Because depending on your answer, I might still grow this.
thing that is edible and able to consume. Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists
You're telling me I get to plant this. It'll make for great fertilizer in my garden. I can eat it myself, and I get a free pet out of it? I mean, I'm in so far. I get a free little buddy.
of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to,
I'll give you all of my freaking
fruits,
compost.
vegetables, roots, seeds, insects, and deceased animals. Although its appearance is unsightly,
Oh,
it
goodness.
is a cowardly creature.
I mean, we could say that it's terrible, but have you seen a naked mole rat? And people still keep those as pet. Listen, I gotta go now, but I'll be back later. Oh, absolutely, my dude. Have people help you play through Thimbleweed Park? You are my #1 resource. But if you're not here, I just use I just call the little hint phone thing. It's totally fine, my dude. No worries.
Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators. Naturally, its population would eventually die out. But this is not the case.
Oh, we got another glitch. Hold on. I need to see it. I want to see it. Give me the secrets. Where's the secrets? Here we go. Mass trimming infestation. Estimated 400 plus trimmings gathering under a large abandoned satellite dish. Oh, okay.
It's not the case. The crawl
So they start to
constantly
overpopulate.
produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl.
For sure, dude. I'll see you in a little bit,
Trimmings
Master
grow at
Zen.
a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful, humanity has no proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered them pests.
Okay, that one's a little horrified. The one in the freaking the attic there is a little freaking terrifying. Admittedly,
Digging through trash bins and making excessive noise at night. Besides all of
Frickin'
this, some people
Steel
still
Series,
keep
you have
trimmings
amazing
as pets
equipment, but
and
this
relatively
mouse, after only
domesticated.
having it for like 2-3 months,
Nuisance or
frickin'
not, trimmings are a wondrous creature.
it starts to
and
like
their
disconnect on its,
plentiful
or it
numbers
starts
to their skittish nature
like it has a thing where it'll just stop working, but it's like connected and like the lights are on and everything. But look, as he said, that people keep it as a pet.
as pets and relatively domesticate them.
You kidding me?
Nuisance
You're telling me so I get a plant that's like easy to grow. I can eat it like beef jerky, even though it doesn't taste good. But superfood, high in nutrients. We all freaking, we're willing to eat a lot of stuff for high nutrients. Already as it is here in freaking California, everybody wants to shove some superfood down their throat. I don't get it. But also, I just got a beef. This has nothing to do with the video, but I'm just gonna beef with you. Stop putting avocado on toast, you monsters! You freaking peel it like a freaking banana. You put a little bit of salt on it, and you eat it raw with nothing else. That's how you eat a freaking avocado. I'm just saying. You eat it like a freaking apple. Just remove the peel, or like a kiwi, I guess you would say. Better analogy there. Like a kiwi. You peel off the parts, the skin. You put a little bit of salt on it, and you eat it like that, like a mango. There you go, perfect, like a mango.
or not, trimmings are a wondrous
Freaking
creature.
toast. Who
From
puts
their plentiful
avocado on
numbers
toast,
to
you
their skittish
heathens?
nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The
And the only thing that belongs on toasts is frijoles and cheese. Okay, beans and cheese. That's it.
species on our list
Frickin'
is
at me.
the meat snake.
The meat snake? Okay, this is getting interesting now. So you're telling me I can also get a pet snake on top of a pet puppy dog thing? Oh, what is this? Right. During the travels on one of their something, a great storm struck. It's so powerful, it swayed the boat and the royal family something and pushed the prince? Yeah, the prince something and into the sea. Alright, so this dude got pushed into the sea. I'm assuming he's the prince.
The meat snake.
Is he the prince or the artist formerly known as a
worm-like
prince?
creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies during its
Transparent,
lifespan,
so you could see like the
depending
bones and
on
stuff?
How much it consumes. When it first separates from the crawl, it is only a few
Oh, that's
centimeters
a
in
bit
length.
creepy.
Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters. Although, under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length.
Oh, no, that's...
Or plague, it can greatly
Largest meat snake ever discovered. During a sweep of underground settlements made during the war, a massive-sized meat snake was discovered stuck inside an underground hallway. The beast was measured at a total of 40 meters in length. A bunch of redacted stuff. It is believed that the bodies gathered during the war were fed to the creature, causing it to reach the unbelievable size. Redacted cult activity.
surpass this length.
Question. How delicious is the meat snake? Because, look, we eat gummy snakes. Like sugary gummy snakes.
The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake allocates its food by using a tongue-like organ covered in sensors to touch and feel its environment. The sensors catch particles of decaying meat,
Well, this one doesn't even eat alive things. That's pretty dope.
notifying the meat snake that there is food
What are the
nearby.
downsides to all of this?
This process
On top of that, we no longer have to pay for frickin' burials. You just feed the dead bodies to the snake.
shares many similarities to regular snakes, hence the meat snake's name.
Living meat, yeah.
Once it locates the corpse, the meat
Feed
snake
the
will open
carnes.
its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin, and the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract, and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake.
It literally eats meat to become more meat.
Unsatisfactory parts like skulls, pelvises, hair,
Oh man, so does that mean that if it eats dead human bodies, then that it becomes like human meat?
and fingernails will be
In which case, it would not be cool to eat them.
excreted. Speaking of skulls,
Oh, it poops out the skulls? How useless are you? Well, actually, no. I mean, theoretically, you can feed it all your dead, like, all the dead animals and stuff that you catch or find or whatever, and just freaking the bones can be grinded up for bone meal. This is a perfect freaking, like, plant species.
the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own
It steals skulls?
skull, each corresponding to what that one has consumed.
Bro, you can customize your meat snake! Oh, I would give it a bull skull. So it can have, like, giant horns like a dragon.
During its lifespan, it will swap or replace these skulls if needed. A meat snake's lifespan depends
Oh, you can have a deer meat snake.
entirely on how much a meat snake consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake has no predators and is immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals.
So you never gotta take it to the vet. Awesome, I'm in.
The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the meat snake is the only member of the Carne's
That's frickin' giant.
family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in two. Then the now two meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms.
It's like a hammer frickin' word.
Meat snakes can only be found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available.
Look at that thing.
Where there is death, there are meat snakes.
But how does it taste?
Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals. They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame.
Yeah, I love it. I want one. I want this. I want the rat, the mole rat thing, and I want the plants. I'm all in so far. I would have all of these. Love them.
Overall, meat snakes are
I mean,
marvelous
that's freaking horrifying, right? But I'm edgy like that, so I want it.
creature with a very interesting way of sustaining itself. It is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell.
Oh, is it stinky? Is it super
Our
stinky?
next creature is the mimic.
Oh, great. All right. This is where we get into the spookies. Hold on, what was that image? After being stranded at sea, the young prince eventually was cast to an island, injured. The prince stumbled his way into a nearby cave. The prince used what magic he could to put himself into a healing sleep. He got magic?
The mimic. The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to humanoid anatomy. They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and
Well, yeah, skulls look like happy faces all the time,
is
just
only
in
how their
general.
facial structure is shaped. The maw of the mimic contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors.
Incisors? So, like, this would be the incisor, no? Because these are the canines. Like, the ones that are good for ripping up flesh and meat. Incisors are, like, more like for grinding. Like if you're eating plants, if you're eating lettuce, stuff like that, that's what the incisors are for. So is it vegetarian?
With some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat.
No, it is not. It is horrible for wait, I'm sorry, I have to say it. It is not. It is absolutely horrible. If the canines were at the very front, like the vast majority of them were at the front, and then all the like an extended maybe like incisors in the back, you can make an argument there. That's why a lot of like wolves and animals and creatures and stuff have more canines in all their like in fact some creatures have nothing but canines. That's what they call canines. But yeah, no, it would be terrible for holding on to meat. That's like a herbivore trying to hold on to you or latch on to you. It just doesn't work.
And swallowing chunks whole.
Swallowing chunks whole? I mean, at that point, it has very... If it's ripping off meat and swallowing bits whole, that has very little to do with the teeth, and a lot more to do with how powerful the jaw is.
A mature mimic's diet is
But
comprised
no, incisors in the front would not be good for any kind of carnivore at all. I watch a lot of documentaries. That's the only reason. I'm not freaking genius or anything.
entirely of human flesh.
Why are you pausing like this?
Because of this, they are
No! Hold on, what was that? Was that an image? What's that jump scare about? No? Were you just trying to scare me then? Yeah, I guess you were just trying to scare me. Okay, I thought that was going to be another image.
Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages.
Okay.
In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl.
Oh, so they're all born from the crawl. So basically, you would have to you'd have to put it down every time.
They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin.
Look at that frickin' thing.
Sleek.
Wow, that is a lot of lore. Yes, it is. Yeah, the frickin' magic thing just suddenly popped out of nowhere, right?
In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life.
So basically, if you're gardening these things, pop a cap in it.
Once fully transformed, it will
Mitmai just tweeted, "Have a great weekend." You too, Mitmai. Well, y'all gotta check out Minty. She's great.
resemble the description mentioned.
A
in the
super
beginning.
comfy friggin'
Its hunting style changes
VTuber. I
and
love her.
becomes much more complicated. It now stalks
That's creepy. That's genuinely freaking
and
horrifying.
feeds only on humans. It will locate human-populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture.
Oh, it looks shit freaking like hunts, like hides itself.
Once a target has been found,
uses clothing. Like, I'm just imagining that giant creepy monster we're trying to wear like a Supreme shirt. It'd just be like, dude, you're still a monster made out of pure meat. Like, you don't even look human.
the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will
How strong is it? Because I got freaking bars on my windows. I don't care if it looks ugly. I freaking put bars on all my windows. I don't trust nobody.
advance
The zombie apocalypse shows up. You ain't getting through my window.
silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal.
Oh goodness, that is stationary mimic found outside of town, presumably digesting last night's meal. Oh, so they just sort of stand there? Pop a cap in it!
Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or
Oh crud! You frickin' had to frickin' put that audio.
Once a human
Oh,
is
that
in
sounded
play,
loud.
It will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
It was just a door knocking, but that got me. That really freaking got me. Go away! Nobody home. What's really trying to get in there? Turn off the light, it's gonna find you. I mean, you have the flashlight on. This is on you. It's totally gonna find you. 100% it's gonna find you. In this world, everybody knows about these creatures. Where's your force multiplier? Yeah, it's gonna find her. 100%. Just turn the flashlight off. Haven't you played Outlast? This suddenly went from 0 to 100, my dudes. Oh! That looks so good! Oh, it's like practical effects. It makes it look creepier. That's it. Those beef jerky fingers are... Oh! No! Goodness! Ah! That freaking got me, dude! Ah! That was freaking horrifying! Ah! That was so good! I'm going back! Oh, goodness! Look at that! Oh, it's like practical. That is so good looking. I mean, it looks goofy, right? But it's like something about the fact that it's like. No, it's just terrifying to me. It's not even goofy looking. It's just terrifying. It's like a beef jerky, man. Goodness. Oh, and the fact that it moves so fast too. Look at that frickin' thing. Oh, dude, good job on the freaking practical effects. That is nice. That is so good. That genuinely freaking got me. I did not expect it to look like that.
Two potential morphs it may develop into. If a mimic has a consistent supply of
frickin' A! My heart's racing.
It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being.
Oh, so it'll even grow skin and hair?
Entirely into civilization and lure other humans more effectively. The second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase.
Oh goodness, that's what we saw. That's what we saw. Ew, that was an elder.
A thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its
yeah, it looks
skills have also
horrifying.
been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet. Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter. Here are the instructions.
Blast it!
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings.
Alright, good. I've already did that one. I never go out.
2. If you
I hate grass
encounter a
and
stationary
sunlight.
mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities. 3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4.
That's cool, actually. That's cool to know. A lot of like people don't realize this, but a lot of like lions, tigers, like big animals like that, depending on the situation, they might not even attack you. Because honestly, they use a lot of calories and don't get a whole lot of calories. So depending on the human, like unless it's an easy guaranteed snack, they probably won't attack because they really have to think about like what they're about to do. So if they see like a pack of people, it's like it's not really worth going after the people because at that point you're probably going to get injured. You're probably going to have an excess use of calories. Like they're a lot smarter than we give them credit for. I'm not saying they're not dangerous. They're incredibly dangerous. You know, we don't know which lion might just decide, you know what, you're worth it. You're worth it for the meal.
4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5.
Goodness.
If you have a weapon.
That's like a freaking bear attack, dude. You should buy one of those bear backpacks. For those who don't know, and especially people who do go hiking and stuff, there's these backpacks that they're not like, of course, they're not bear-proof, but they're like super durable. They're like really tough. So if a bear does attack you, you can use it to like sort of protect your vital organs and stuff.
Do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time. Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks. 6.
I mean, you're going to have to give me more information on why a force multiplier won't work. If it has a brain, I mean, what did Batman say? Do you bleed? You know, or who, even better, like, if it bleeds, we could, like, what was that? Was that from Predator?
In a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area, and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and will move on.
Oh, because it's super tall. Smart
Be
idea,
safe
smart idea.
And avoid any.
But you said fireworks on this stuff, so... I mean, go buy one of those Elon Musk Tesla flamethrowers.
Encounters with
I'm
a mimic
good.
at all costs. Next up, the Harvester.
Okay, hold on. The Harvester. That looks freaking creepy. But the prince's sleep was long. He slept for what seemed like forever. As he slept, the land around him changed and grew. It was unrecognizable from when the prince first arrived. But the sleep still needed time to heal the prince. Much more time. But it kept the prince safe while he rested, guarding him from the elephants and the land as the land changed.
The Harvester. The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally.
What on earth is?
The Harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way.
Okay, so it's specifically crawl, just a different variant of crawl
Harvester
specifically.
is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating, continues to grow. Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further.
I wonder, can you cut it off as you notice it getting too large?
Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The Harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have a vein that feed into them, that pump 2 types of venom. On one side,
I feel like that would be perfect for getting things like gophers and mole rats and stuff.
the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently. Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse. The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood loss.
Oh, so it doesn't even, like, eat the thing or rip it apart or anything. It just frickin' lets the blood sort of go into the dirt.
Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine, equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure, the tendrils will continue
So
to
it does
feed until
inevitably
there is nothing
eat it
but
too.
scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines. The nutrients are then converted into usable energy. The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
Ah, that's smart.
A strange behavior the harvester displays is its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some
I wonder if that's because it's like specifically choosing larger prey, or if it's because it's like the soil needs to be moved like by heavy weight.
species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. One, it could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests.
Ah,
If
okay.
you are stung by a harvester,
Oh man,
there will
I'm
no
not gonna be able
way
to
of
visit the
helping,
redwoods in this
being that
universe.
There is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
We got another. Where is it? Show it to me. Here we go. Family attacked by I'm assuming harvester. Authorities something to handle the harvester. Okay.
The best thing you can do is avoid encountering a harvester in the first place. If you
Yeah,
are
to stay
hiking,
away.
take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks.
Bro, if you're outside in nature, you should avoid the area. What do you mean, dog? Stay in your basement, play video games. That's it.
If you
We're
find
good.
yourself in the middle of a harvester
That's how you stay
ground,
alive.
do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely.
I'm sorry, but the fact that you're saying a coat is heavy enough to activate it makes me feel like I shouldn't be safe with this. I'm pretty sure you would get got. I mean, if a freaking coat? And coats are not that heavy, dude. Definitely not heavier than me.
Be sure you are out of harm's
And I'm
way.
a pygmy monkey. I'm like
You
6
may
inches
come out
tall.
unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal. Next up is the host.
The host.
The host
Oh, we saw some real creepies there. Hold on. What is this? Outside the cave during a time of hardship lived the island critters. The critters were struggling in this hard time. There was barely any food to go around. They would go and gather whatever they... blankety, blankety, blank, blank, blank. Okay, sure.
The host of influence. The host of influence more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease.
Okay.
The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement. The host's head has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding.
Oh, the freaking
On
mouth
the
is in the
back
neck.
is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow, hair-like structures.
But is it like stuck
extending
in
outward.
place?
These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air.
Oh, that's
These
spores.
spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs. Luckily,
Okay, what's the creepy? Show it to me. What is that? Is that a host?
luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
Oh, great!
Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination.
Oh,
Then
crud, I'm
more
infected!
serious symptoms appear over
I
time.
got all of those!
These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you
I don't got
or
trembles, but I got the
someone you know
rest,
show
typically.
these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services. After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected
It
individual.
freaking forces you to come to it.
If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it, expose their vital organs, and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will
I like the
consume
music
them and
starts to get,
discard the
like,
leftover
heavy.
scraps.
Like, we weren't expecting that.
However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal.
Okay, so you can just, like,
If the
tie
host
down
is
your
unable
homie.
to find prey or doesn't like its
Just
current
keep 'em there, like,
location,
nah,
it
son.
will unroot
It's like a
itself and
detox.
move to a new location.
It can
Their scarce
unroot?
numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Next, the monoliths.
The monoliths, okay.
The monoliths.
Oh, we got another freaking Prince story. Hold on. Although something the critters noted in the cave while searching for food, they yada 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 trance in his healing sleep. So they found the wizard prince.
The monoliths.
The critters found the wizard prince.
The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of
I love let's censor the name of the place, but let's just show it right on the friggin' map anyway, so it completely defeats the purpose.
There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds. The
Okay.
monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are
It's
firmly
freaking
embedded
huge!
underground. The legs connect to a torso.
Oh, it's
The
huge,
creature
huge!
itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure. These strands end at the neck, fusing into a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where
Why?
arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away.
Okay.
What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing.
Oh,
The
great!
only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in. During this period, they were extremely aggressive. When the group of were making their way to the city, the monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast, completely knocking the vehicles.
Wait, what? That's out of left field. Wait, it also has freaking EMPs?
Long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Oh, was this it? Okay. But just don't get close to it. Why are you getting close to it?
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed.
Alright, hold on. There was something happening there. Alright. Whoops. Oh, it's the same photograph.
Although
Alright.
damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last
Okay, so
creature on
those
this
are a lot less intimidating. So far, we just have to worry about the mimic. You can pretty much fairly avoid the harvester and the frickin' host. The last one is a ball? Hold on. Something, why is it? What is this creature? Are they dangerous? I thought something, what if the creature could use the magic to help them? It may grow food or heal sickness. They continue to argue about the prince and his magic. Something. The majority of his called upon agree that they had the prince is something dangerous and should not. Something.
The singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core.
What's a giant
The
freaking ball?
singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several unique qualities that are not well understood. The singularity typically can be found suspended in air by an unseen force. There are also a variety of reading that have been documented coming from the orb itself. Various things like magnetic fields, energy signatures, and other pattern-like signals released by the singularity. The population of these creatures is unknown. Almost all info about the singularity is hidden or confiscated by officials.
Is it stationary or just flying around the place, though?
Classified document about the singularity being held by.
Okay.
Marvelous and majestic world that exists today, it's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery.
National
of the lives
Living
of
Meat
these living
Research,
meat
I love it.
creatures.
More to come. Awesome, my dude. I'm excited to see more of it. It's freaking dope. More of that creature, though. Honestly, more of this. The freaking face. But I love the snake and the frickin' the meat snake and the little frickin' gerbil thing and the actual craw. I'm all about.